everyone. Given the function v of t equals 5 sine squared of t cosine of t is the velocity in meters per second of a particle moving along the x-axis, we're going to determine when the particle is moving right, left, and stopped, find the particle's displacement for the time interval 0 to 2 pi, also find the particle's final position when we're starting at 3, and also find the total distance traveled by the particle. So it's a lot here. So let's start with moving right, left, and stopped. So for right, we know that our v of t has to be positive. So this is for right. All right. That happens when sine of t does not equal 0 and cosine of t is positive. That means that's in quadrants 1 and quadrants 4. Now it can't equal it because sine of t can't equal 0. So that's why there's no equal signs on these end points here. All right, for left, we do the same thing, but our velocity of t has to be negative. So that happens when sine of t doesn't equal 0, but cosine of t is negative. That happens in quadrants 2 and 3. So that's when we have t is in between pi divided by 2 and pi. That's quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. So we just put or here. Or pi is less than t is less than 3 pi divided by 2. So this is left. And then for stopped is when sine of t equals 0 or cosine of t equals 0. And we're going from 0. So at 0, we have t equals 0. It happens at pi divided by 2. It happens at pi, 3 pi divided by 2, or 2 pi. So this is where it is stopped. Because that's where either one of these equals 0. Left, right, and stopped. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do our displacement problem. So your displacement equals the integral from 0 to 2 pi of 5 sine squared of t times cosine of t dt. Now I'm going to rewrite this a little bit, and so we can integrate it. I'm going to let u, let me write it over here, u equals sine of t, so du equals cosine of t dt. So basically we have the integral of 0 to 2 pi, and then we have u squared. Let's just put the 5 there. Then we have u squared, and this is du. All right, so when you integrate this, you're going to get from 0 to, let's just go ahead and substitute that in. So when you integrate u, you're going to get 5 u cubed divided by 3, and then we're going to integrate this from 0 to 2 pi. So let's substitute back in our u, which was sine squared. This is going to give me 5 times 1/3 sine cubed of t, and we're evaluating this from 0 to 2 pi. So basically it's just going to give us 5, and we're going to get 0 minus 0, which equals 0. All right, so from there, let's look and see. We need, if our starting time is 3, for our first position, our final position, you're just going to add this 0. So our final position is 3. And then we have to find the distance traveled. So let's do that. Whoops. So for distance traveled, we just take the integral from 0 to 2 pi, and its absolute value of 5 sine squared of t, cosine of t, and then dt. Now we have to split this up. This is absolute value, so we're going to split it up between our intervals. So it's positive from 0 to pi divided by 2. And then it's negative in quadrants 2 and 3. So we can just look at pi divided by 2 to 3 pi divided by 2. And we're going to write negative. And then we go back to positive, and that's going to be from 3 pi divided by 2 to 2 pi. And then you go back to positive. All right. So when you integrate this, remember we already did this. So basically what we're going to get is 5 times 1/3 sine cubed of t. We're going from 0 to pi divided by 2. Then we have plus negative 1/3 sine cube of t. We're going from 0, not to 0, we're going from pi divided by 2 to 3 pi divided by 2. And then we have plus let's forget, I forgot the 5. So let me put the 5 out front. 1/3 sine cube of t. We're evaluating this from pi divided by 2 to 3 pi divided by 2. Let me see if I can squeeze this in. So basically for this piece, sine pi divided by 2 is 1. So this is just going to be 1 times 5 is, and you have the 1/3, so it's going to be 5/3. At 3 pi divided by 2, you get negative 1. So this is going to turn to positive. And so this is going to be, and then you also have pi divided by 2. So this is just going to be 10/3. Because you're going to have 5/3 plus 5/3 here. The same as you got here. All right, but you have the one of them's negative, so it changes to positive. And then for this one, same thing. You go back to 5/3. So finally, what you do is you add these up. You get 5/3 plus 10/3 plus 5/3, and that's going to equal 20/3. 20 divided by 3 is your total distance. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.